Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis and I am surviving an avoidant discard. So your avoidant ex has a name. Well, what do I mean by that? Uh, I know in the first video I was kind of on the fence of whether or not I was going to name my ex, and in the second video obviously I did. And I think in the second video it just came out as a matter of habit of talking with my therapist, talking with my group, talking with my friends. So one of the reasons that happened is just ease of communication, ease of relaying my experiences to my friends, my therapists, and on videos like this. It's a common name. I mean, we don't have any like mutual friends or mutual acquaintances that are going to watch this and really, that already don't know what's gone on between us. So, it's not a real secret for the limited people who know both of us that might watch this. Obviously, I hope one day that she not necessarily watches this content, but watches content about dismissive avoidance and starts to work on herself. But I mean, as we all know, if you're watching this video, you know that avoidance avoids. So, if she watches it one day, great. I'm not gonna, lose any sleep over it. One of the things that came up in the beginning of our relationship, with this concept of naming each other, is it occurred to me that, she never used my name in our relationship. And we also didn't have pet names. I didn't realize this till I was talking with a friend earlier today. I would use pet names, but the closest that she would get is she would call me Mr. And if she was talking about me to other people, she would refer to me as Mr. T. Like, she wouldn't use my name. The other thing that struck me, after we broke up, I think it's Ken Reed, counselor in Australia there. He has a really good YouTube channel. He has a video about becoming the crazy ex of your avoidant partner. And that video sort of landed with me because I remember asking Sarah about her ex-husband, and I don't even remember his name. Like, I'm not sure of his name. Like, there was two names that I have in my head, but I heard his name so little. But I would often hear, things like, oh, he was the other one. And that sort of stuck with me, after the discard of, how am I going to be referred to? Like, am I going to be, oh, he's crazy, or he's this, or do you know what I mean? Like, not using my name. And it occurred to me that it's almost like that's sort of another defense mechanism where, if you don't use somebody's name, then they're not human. It's like when you're behind a car in traffic, you don't honk the horn necessarily at the person. You don't know the person driving the vehicle. You're just honking. Really, you're honking the horn at the vehicle in front of you. If there was a sticker across the tailgate that said, Travis is driving this vehicle, or Sarah is driving this vehicle, all of a sudden it's a human in there who has feelings and emotions and might be having a bad day, that kind of thing. So it almost struck me as this subconscious strategy of hers to not necessarily devalue me, but not to put too much value on me in her own eyes. Almost like subconsciously she knew that she was, going to have to discard me. It's like, not really the same thing, but when lab technicians, have to inject mice with diseases or whatnot. I mean, they don't name they don't make pets out of the rodents or whatever, because they know they're going to have to kill them. Sort of along those lines. Like, it sort of struck me that way. In the beginning, she would refer to me as someone. That's like, she would never say things like, I feel like you X, or, like, she would say things like, well, someone needs to take care of that. So she's referring to me, but she's not putting herself out there. She's not owning the statement of, This is how I feel about what you're doing or what you're saying, which sort of follows along with the whole concept of an avoidant not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to, take ownership of their feelings and their emotions. Anyway, that sort of struck me. Before her, what's in a couple other things she used to say before her deactivation strategies came online, after I told her that I loved her, and she started kind of working her way out of the relationship. She would say things like, the closest that she would say, if I was right about something, she would say, oh, okay, thank you, goodbye. And that was it. It was never, you're right, or that's a good point, or, anything like that. I think that these idiosyncrasies that I first, when I first heard them, I sort of took them as cute, and endearing, sort of an innocent, naive way about her, which I loved. But I think they were very, very early indicators of, maybe some poor communication skills, or even a little bit of emotional immaturity that I completely missed and blew right past. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed any communication patterns like this that, maybe on the surface at the beginning seemed, unique and cute, and, but when you look back, maybe you can see a pattern of this sort of unwillingness to name their emotions, name you, really insert themselves into the communication between the two of you. That's all I had for this video. I did want to, I know I made a post of it, like a written post, excuse me, the turtle image. I have no idea who made this turtle image. I wish I knew so that I could give them credit and to say thank you, because it really struck me the first time that I saw it. This was last year sometime. I actually made a Christmas hoodie for Sarah. I was really on the Christmas gifts last year, so I had a lot of this stuff ordered like long before the discard, and then during November, December, I had these orders rolling in, so that was a little hurtful. But that image really struck me, those two turtles. There's not really a more perfect pictorial representation of the relationship between Sarah and I, especially because Sarah owns two pet turtles. So it's absolutely perfect. And I mean, obviously she, as the avoidant, is the one that's curled up inside of her shell, and I, as the anxious, leaning, fearful avoidant, am sticking my neck out, crossing the boundaries, going right inside her space, simply looking for bids for connection, to reach out and say I love you. So that's where, or why that image is special to me, and why it's used on the channel here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.